we are going to review another special product. It's the case that it's called a special product of a binomial and a trinomial, that it's something like we have here. In this specific one, it's very important that we need to have like a specific structure. So we need to see if the structure is correct for doing this specific special product, because it's not for all binomial with a trinomial. It's for a specific binomial with a trinomial. So let's see. As I was telling you, we need to have a specific structure. The specific structure will then try to give us the specific rule. So the rule is the cube of the first term plus the cube of the second term. That will be if we got a specific one like x plus y that multiplies x squared minus xy plus y squared. So if we see, the trinomial must have this specific structure, that it's the first one squared minus the product of the first one and the second one plus the second one squared. If it has that specific structure, so the answer is going to be x cubed plus y cubed. In the case of the second rule, the cube of the first term minus the cube of the second term, it must have this specific structure. Of course, the binomial is in this case x minus y, so it will be in the trinomial. The first one must be the first one squared, then it will be the product of the first one and the second one, and then the second one squared. If the trinomial have that specific structure, then the answer will be the first one cubed minus the second one cubed. So let's see the demonstration of why it will be that specific answer. I will do it only with the first one because with the second one it's almost the same. So let's see. In this case, we need to multiply the first term by all the terms in the second parenthesis. So we will get something like x cubed minus x squared y plus xy squared. Then we need to do the same with the second term. So we must do the same with the second term multiplied by all the terms in the second parenthesis. So it will be plus x squared y minus xy squared plus y cubed. Then we can do like term simplification. We have minus x squared y plus x squared y. They disappear. We got xy squared minus xy squared. They disappear. And our final answer is x cubed plus y cubed. So this is the demonstration for the one that it's x plus y multiplied by x squared minus xy plus y squared. So let's see now some example of a special product of a binomial and a trinomial. So let's see. In this specific exercise, remember the special product of a binomial and a trinomial. We need to look if the structure is correct, because if the structure is not correct, we cannot apply this specific special product. So let's see. In this case, we got to see if this one, it's the square of the first one. So yeah, it's the square of the first one. This one must be minus the product of the first one multiplied by the second one. So yeah, it is minus 10xy. And this one must be the square of the second one. So of course, all of them applies. So we can apply the rule and it will be the first term cubed plus the second term cubed. So our final answer is going to be 125 x cubed plus 8y cubed. So applying the rule, it's so simple. The most important part is that we need to verify if the trinomial is applicable or if it has the specific structure we need to apply the special product of a binomial and a trinomial. Let's see another example. So in this exercise, it's something similar. We got a binomial and a trinomial. So we need to see if it has the specific structure, the trinomial. So remember, the first term must be the square of the first term. So yeah, it applies because it's 144a fourth b squared. Then the second one, in this case, because on the binomial it's negative, it must be plus the multiplication of the two terms, 12a squared b multiplied by minus 7ab, I'm sorry, not the minus, 7ab cubed. So in this case, 12 times 7, it's 84. A squared and a, it's a cubed. B cubed and b, it's b fourth. So yes, it's applied or it applies. And the last one must be the second term squared. So in this case, 7 squared is 49, a squared it's a squared, b to the third to the squared, it will be b to the sixth, so it applies. So the answer is going to be the first term cubed minus the second term cubed. So our final answer is going to be 144 multiplied by 12. It will be 1728 a to the sixth b to the third minus 49 times 7. It will be 343 a to the third b to the 9, and that will be the final and correct answer. So remember, in this case, the important part is we need to see if the trinomial has the specific structure for applying the rule of special products of a binomial and a trinomial. Let's see other example. So let's see, in this third example, it's something similar. Remember, the important part is to review if the trinomial has the specific structure. So the first one must be the first term squared. So in this case, 2 times 2 is 4, 5 times 5 is 25, x to the third to the second power, it's x to the sixth, so it's okay. The second term must be minus because on the first binomial it's positive. It's a multiplication of two terms, so it's x to the third multiplied by 5 thirds of x. 5 and 5 get simplified, it will be 2 thirds of x to the fourth, so it applies. And the other term must be the second term squared, so it will be 25 over 9 x squared, so it applies. So our final answer is going to be 2/5 of x cubed plus 5 thirds of x cubed. So in this case, the final answer is going to be 2/5 multiplied by 2/5 multiplied by 2/5. It's going to be 8 over 125. So it's going to be 8 over 125 x to the 9 plus it's going to be 125 over 27 x to the third. And this is going to be our final and correct answer. So remember, the important part is to check if the trinomial has the specific structure we need to do these kind of exercises. Let's see other example. So in the next example, we got something like this. It will be another time a binomial multiplied by a trinomial. So we need to look at the structure of the trinomial. So the first one must be this x to the 2b plus 3, all of it squared. So yeah, it's that one. The second one, because the first one is negative, then in the binomial it will be positive, the multiplication of two terms. So of course it will be 12x to the 3b plus 3, so it's okay. And the last one must be the second term squared, so it will be 4x to the 2b, so it applies. So our final answer is going to be the first term cubed minus the second term cubed. So our final answer is going to be 36, I'm sorry, not 36 times 6, 216 x to the 6b plus 9 minus, it's going to be 8x to the 3v, and that will be our final answer. So in this case, remember, the important part in all of this exercise is to check the specific structure of the trinomial. If it has the specific we need, then apply the rule that it will be only cubing both terms. Sometimes it will be plus, sometimes it will be negative, depending on the signs on the binomials. So that was it for today. So you can now do the specific activity of special products of a binomial and a trinomial.